Disgraced Instagram influencer Jay Mazini pleads guilty to multi-million dollar Ponzi scheme. So this sounded pretty interesting, so let's get right into it. So a disgraced Instagram influencer pleaded guilty on Wednesday to swindling investors out of several million dollars as part of a Ponzi scheme targeting New York's Muslim American community. Jabara Igbara, who ran a popular Instagram account under the name J. Mazini, solicited money from Muslim New Yorkers ostensibly in return for stock, electronics, and COVID 19 protective equipment, according to federal prosecutors in Brooklyn. Igbara pocketed at least $8 million in the scam and blew all, all the cash on personal expenses and gambling, the feds said. Like, here's the thing: how on earth can you spend $8 million? Like, that is so much money. He then launched a second scheme to repay apparent returns he had promised his victim by posting on his Instagram page that he would pay above market rate sums for cryptocurrencies. Oh, like, this is just like dirty and dirtier. Igbara then sent his victims doctored images of wire transfers purportedly showing payment for the crypto. In reality, Igbara was stealing the currency, the feds said. See, here's the thing that I don't really understand, right? You're smart enough to create a Ponzi scheme that is able to acquire $8 million. Couldn't you also just create a legitimate business and make at least half that? Like, you're smart enough to raise money or get money. Why not do it legally? The former social media star pleaded guilty to wire fraud and money laundering charges. He faces up to 20 years in prison when he's sentenced in the case. And law enforcement authorities praised the guilty plea Wednesday. This multi-million dollar case is a reminder for anyone thinking of investing: be skeptical of any investments with larger than life promises, because if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. IRS CI Special Agent in Charge Fado Russo said in a statement. Like, this is the thing, right? What people need to understand is that investing is not really complicated for the majority of people. Like, if you don't really want to spend that much time, like, investing into the market, you could basically do what I do, right? Where I just basically put money into index funds. You could do it in mutual funds as well, but like, you could put it into something kind of like SPY as like an example, and just keep putting money in there consistently over the long period of time, and you'll eventually on average get about, like, 6 to 12% per year, roughly beating inflation, right? Typically, like, that is better than most hedge funds do, right? Not to mention it also provides a dividend. So if you have a lot of money put into it, you could actually make a decent income from it as well. It's just an option, right? But the best thing to do is to basically set things like automated. You could put like $50, $100, $300, $1,000 a month into that stuff and basically forget about it, right? Or if you prefer to focus on real estate because that just happens to be what you know, go and do that, right? But the main thing to understand about investing is simply consistently. As long as you are consistently putting money into investments every single month, right, or as often as you can, into an investments that have roughly a 7 to 10% annual return, which a lot of index funds do and a lot of mutual funds do, you can basically retire a millionaire without really paying much attention to that. It might take decades, but you can get to that point. without really thinking about it, which is what I like about index funds. Don't really think about it, all automated. Why not? Like anytime someone basically tries to promise you a crazy return, be very, very careful. Like if someone says, I can get you 40% return, no, do not trust that at all. Oh, I can get you a 20% return. Do not believe that, right? It is so rare to consistently get something above a 10% return. Very rare, right? There are some people that are able to make like 1,000% on their money, right? Like that crazy finance guy that YOLO'd all of his money into Dogecoin and like got like a 9-figure exit, right? There's some people like that. There's that crazy random Shiba Inu whale that put like $8,900 into it and basically became a billionaire after it, right? There are some people who end up getting into that situation, but for someone to basically say like, oh, if you give me your money, I will double, triple, quadruple. Like that's such a bad sign saying like, hey, I should probably walk away from this, right? Like anytime I see anyone trying to say like, oh, you could consistently get like over a 10% return on something, I start looking at that as like, ooh, is this a scam? How much of a scam is this thing? You know? So let's check out some of these comments. Sorry, but anyone who is influenced by an influencer on any social media network channel deserves what they get. Now, I don't really agree with that because there are some people that just believe in certain individuals. Maybe they have a lot of charisma. Maybe they want to be like them. I understand the reasoning why some people fall for it. Be especially skeptical of anyone trying to sell based on group affinity. That's true. The fact that he basically went after the Muslim community is very, very disturbing. Guy will get 4 years and released after 2 with good behavior and good luck finding the 8 mil. He would then change his name and start anew. I have to figure out how to be one of these influencers, lol. The thing is, he could probably end up spending a lot of time in there because the thing is, if it's true that he actually spent all the money, he probably won't be leaving anytime soon. He'll be quite popular in prison, 20 years. An influencer lying to and scamming his fans, not a surprise. The morons are the ones who give him their coins. Interesting cons saying that some Muslims do not believe in interest on loans. What type of creative returns could he offer that might attract that money? Or did those Muslims ignore him and not get conned? I don't know. An interesting point. And like a lot of people don't actually really know this, right? But what this person said was actually really interesting, right? A lot of Muslims, like people who truly like believe in the faith or come from that culture, really are against any type of loans or interest. By the way, if you want to learn how to get out of debt, go down below.